Good afternoon, everybody. It's Demise, music and entertainment. I'm looking all beat up in the morning here, but I want to talk about the book Mastery by Robert Greene and also what mastery can mean to you. Also, a shout out to Project Life Mastery by Stefan from Canada. Mastery, the 10,000 hour rule, right? What you're really good at. I was even watching the Joe Rogan podcast last night, and I don't know, I think it was about a year old. They're talking about mastery. They're talking about sticking with something and how he was into Taekwondo and martial arts. And Joe Rogan was like just stuck on that for like 4 years, he said, or I don't know how many years, but he was in it every day, had the keys to the gym. He would be in there at like 4 in the morning sometimes. Stephen Kotler, author from Chicago, Illinois, talking about his book writing process when he's writing books and how you get into a flow state. So when you get into a flow state, it's really cool because you're just kind of gliding through your project, whether it's writing a book or writing a song or making a beat, or whatever it may be, like creating a video game or creating a YouTube video just like this. You get in a flow state where your mind is just going down different avenues and you're taking left turns and right turns, mentally or physically, and you don't even know where you're gonna go, but all you know is that it's gonna end up right. It's gonna end up good. And that's flow state, man. And I think the best part about the flow state is that you just do not think as much, right? You just kind of go with the flow, hence the word flow state. All right, so you go with the flow, and that's awesome, man. Like I'm so glad to have people like Joe Rogan and Robert Greene and all those type of people that write about this flow state. And the 10,000 hour rule is to where it's said in the book, and I've heard this before on inspirational videos, where you stick with something for about 6, 7, 8, 9 to 10 years. So 6 to 10 years. And you're sticking with it and you're going after it daily, almost pretty much every day, even if it's for 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, but most likely going for it all day, every day. Around the 10,000 hour mark, you will have reached mastery. You will have reached mastery, right? Like, so say, for instance, music. I have been creating music for a long time. One part of me is telling me, just quit now, buddy. You've gotten this far. What do you have to show for it? You know what I mean? Like, I just kind of want to give up, just throw in the towel and be like, man, I should have went harder a long time ago. The new stuff now is different now. I'm wasting time. I'm wasting money investing in studio time, and perhaps I might buy some beats, mixing and mastering. I've done that stuff myself. I've mixed and mastered my own songs, and then I like having other producers mix and master certain singles. So after that, the other side says, no, you're doing good. You're doing better than ever before. And maybe you're getting closer to that mastery, that 10,000 hours, because I've put countless amount of hours staying up, constructing beats, countless amount of hours rapping all night, freestyling with my brothers. Who knows how long I've been staying up and learning new programs and coming up with songs and poetry and flowing all night, right? Getting in that flow state. Countless amount of shows, man. I've been up on the stage, I've rocked the mic, even when I didn't want to because I was nervous and I thought I'd fuck up. I've even messed up on stage. Words I've messed up. I've forgotten verses, but I freestyled. No one even knows. All the fears in my mind, right? And when I did mess up, nobody knew. I'm the only one that knew that I messed up. Okay? And there's times where I was going to play a guitar solo, and I brought up the guitar, I brought up the thing, it was all cool. And then the thing was dead, the guitar pedal, because I was going to use distortion. And I found out later that I didn't even need that. I could have just put distortion on the amp. You see, that's what happens. That's what happens. You have to go through that. And those are what hold people back. That's what almost held me back a bunch of times. Was like, oh crap, I don't want to go perform live, but I have to. It's a must. In my mind, that's something that I want to do. I want to have a concert. I want to play a concert. So I would do that. And I think that's all getting closer to this 10,000 hours. Getting closer to this Robert Greene's mastery. Now look at, in the book Mastery, he talks about Charles Darwin going out on a voyage, learning that he has to have empathy and listen to the captain, and that people think he's weird and whatever it is, and he has to just kind of go out and take the world for what it is. And he would go and find out that, wait a minute, I'm making connections by going to all these different continents and different countries. And life did not all just happen at one time. It wasn't like, boom, all species and all animals were here. He said it was an evolution. We have evolved over the years into what we are now. People don't like that theory. Religious people will be like, I didn't come from apes. I didn't come from single cell organisms or whatever it may be. But think about it. That's what Charles Darwin's discovery was. And it holds up scientifically better than not. Okay? He talks about, I think it's Mozart, when he was Mozart, the piano player, when he was 7, I believe, that his father had him playing piano with his sister, I think, his older sister, and they were playing shows, and they were known as like the brother-sister duo, and they were getting really famous where they're from. I'm not sure if it's Austria. They're just playing, and then Mozart he gets to a certain age, he wants to bring in some emotion into the music. He wants to bring in some anger, some depression, some anxiety to his work. And when he would perform that in his early to mid 20s, people were like, what is that? That is not music. That is not classical music. That's horrible. That is like scary music. There's something wrong with you. And with artists, there's something definitely in our head that's a little off, right? And people don't really get us at all times, you know? Like my stepdad says, he's like, dude, you and your cousin, because my cousin's a musician, right? And he's like, you guys are weird, man. You guys are freaking spontaneously just, you know. But yeah, so Mozart would make this beautiful, crazy music, right? Super just like anxiety driven sounds and weird eerie noises and crazy stuff. It's like a movie, and people hated it. Now look, they're talking about him still till this day, and people still look up to him and use his music style in movies. There's so many people that he's talking about. He's talking about, oh, there's this lady who had autism, right? Cool story in the Book of Mastery. And he is talking about her, and she has autism. She finds out that she loves animals. So she fell in love with horses, and next thing you know, one thing led to the next, to where she was dealing with cows. Now there's this machine that the cows go through, and I think it massages the cows. I'm not sure. Or the cows pass through it. And she asked if she can go in there, and she did not talk very well in the beginning because she was autistic, right? And I looked her up, and she does look kind of out of it. She looks crazy. She looks, no offense, but she looks like someone you'd see out on the streets that is homeless or crazy. But she's not. She's a millionaire. She has worked with animals forever, since she was a kid. And see, she started her own farm and raising cows and treating cows better. And all these farmers and the farms that she would go to, ran by these men or whatever, the cows would all get stuck at this certain thing where they had to pass through. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but she designed one looking at it from the cow's point of view, and she found out why the cows were scared, because where the fence opening led, there was like water down there, and then the cows were kind of hesitant. So one cow would stop, another cow would stop, and all the other cows, 100 cows, wouldn't pass through. So it's a waste of time and a waste of money. On farms, time is money. Okay? Time to let the seeds grow and then the crop grow. That's time. Time is money. So she found out a way. She saw it from the cow's point of view, and like, oh, if I was a cow, what machine would I want to rub my body? What machine would I want? What pathway for that fence thingy would I look at and not be afraid of to pass? And she invented it, and the people were amazed. They were like, wow, we've had this problem for years, where the cows would just get stuck at this certain passageway through the fence, and they would be all afraid to pass through, and she solved that problem. So she went from autistic and not even talking, okay, to being a very financially successful, passionate farmer, animal. I mean, I don't know if she farms as much as she takes care of animals, you know what I mean? Yeah, look her up. I forgot her name. So for the music, alright? Mastery. Like I said, a lot of these people really wanted to give up. Albert Einstein, you know what I mean? Charles Darwin, Mozart. There's a couple of artists in there. And there's a lot of times where they just wanted to give up. Mozart, he didn't know what he was going to do. And he kept trying to play this music live in front of people. And they were hating it. They were like, this is garbage, man. I don't like it. It's scary music. It's weird music. And he was like, but this is what I feel. I feel this music. It's the same stuff over and over again. This came from me. Okay? It talks about how Robert Greene talks about in the book. The universe is like floating seeds are in the universe, and it's waiting for a fertile mind like me or you, right? Or anybody, but I'll just, for instance, we'll say a fertile mind like mine, where the universe has seeds floating around, and bloop, a musical seed plants into my mind. And as long as I continue to water it, and as long as I take care of that seed and let it grow, all that music, and I take care of it, and I take out the weeds, and I keep watering it, and I just take care of it, it will grow. And it's totally up to me. The universe planted that seed, which was music, in me, right there in the mind. I have to take care of that. Okay? With you, it might be art or pottery or movie making, filmmaking. The universe planted that seed in your brain. Now it's up to you. You have to cultivate, and you have to let that crop grow. And I was thinking about it. From all the old songs that I've made, all the cassette tape demos from 2009, 2010, where everybody was looking at me saying, this is stupid, man. D-man, these cassette tapes, it's a new generation now. They didn't understand what I was trying to do. I was trying to throw myself in the hardest tasks of creating, and the old school way of analog and mono, right? Of cassette recording, 4-track. Okay? That was fun for me, having to stay up for 4 hours, 5 hours, constructing a beat on the keyboard, hooked directly up to the 4-track recorder, doing that, then rapping over it. And the sound was amazing. It was different than going in there. And then everyone else was working with FL Studio, the old with Acid Pro. You just click a couple buttons and you record a song. See, that's cool. But what I was doing, I thought was just getting into it. It was super cool to me. And I wasn't like I was going to get stuck doing that. It was a learning experience. I just wanted to do that. But now people see, because I can explain myself better. And they're like, whoa. And those were seeds that were planted. So when I release the music now, I can be like, look, this is where I came from. This is the stuff that it started at. Way before. Programs that you haven't even heard of. Tools and instruments you have not even seen or heard of. You know what I mean? And I'll teach everyone how to use that. Now, people ask me on YouTube, do I use that Tascam 4-track recorder? And I'll type to them and tell them exactly how. Now, this new song, Cali Stomp, I just posted it this morning at midnight. To me, this is getting closer to mastery. To me, that song is so well designed. It went into the right hands for mixing and mastering and for other ideas. It has the right amount of everything. And it's probably like the 250th song I've ever made. Over 8-9 years. Have I reached that 10,000 hour mark? I think I might be getting close. Cali Stomp, I just posted it. I would love for you to listen to it. Not the best message ever, but it's a California anthem. You know, it's not super deep, but everything about it is just what I believe the people really want to hear. If you're at a club, if you're driving in the car, if you want to get hype, if you want to have a party, Cali Stomp, mastery. Find out what it is that you really love and what you're passionate about. What do you like? What will you do forever? Say it's dancing. Go for that 10,000 hour rule. Master it. Do it every day. Don't get distracted. Mastery by Robert Greene. 10,000 hour rule. Go and master your life. Master your evolution to excellence. One love, Demise Music and Entertainment. Thank you.